Good afternoon. As Provost and William and Mary's Chief Academic Officer, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 and 2022 Jefferson, 2021 and 2022 Monroe Honors, and the 2022 Plumeri Awards for Faculty Excellence. This ceremony is really to honor the recipients, past awardees, friends, colleagues, guests, and we're all delighted to have you here with us. I have been looking forward to this celebration in person, and I know we'll appreciate the hard work, dedication, and achievement that these well-earned recipients represent. It is now my pleasure to introduce William and Mary's 28th President, Dr. Catherine Rowe.
Thank you, Provost Seguris. Good afternoon, everybody. Today, as you know, we are celebrating a tradition of excellence at William & Mary. As our mission states, we cultivate creative thinkers, principled leaders, and compassionate global citizens equipped for lives of meaning and distinction. William & Mary convenes great minds and hearts to solve the most pressing needs of our time. I love that statement. This community crafted that statement in my first year here as president. Today, we're honoring those in our community who embody these high ideals and who live our values of curiosity and service and excellence in particular. Next week marks the 329th year of evolution at William & Mary, and we are not done transforming. We are not done pioneering. We're an institution that cultivates innovation in our bones, in our history. So think about that wonderful mix of old and new. That is us, a history of innovation. As we know, innovation accelerates inclusion. It accelerates excellence. Innovative teaching, research, and service are what we're dedicated to, and today's awards showcase how this vision is flourishing. And given the challenges of the last 2 years and the uncertain moment that we're in as we're thinking through what this next phase of pandemic is going to be about, it is really a gift to be able to celebrate together and to take time to be in fellowship and to dwell in the moment of appreciation for so much sustained work. I was just saying to some of the recipients a moment ago, it's important to remember that you've done the work. There's so much work ahead. But this is a moment of taking stock, appreciating, being mindful of all those who help support doing the work and of true accomplishments that you have succeeded in and that we are here to celebrate. And I'm looking into this room and I'm thinking about how far and how near people have come from. For some, perhaps from the School of Business, this was a quick walk from the office. I know back in the rowdy group of geologists there will be people who've just come from the field. They've got sand in their boots. Yep, right? There are folks from way down on the coast there. I see them from VIMS and who spend their time on the water and probably had to come by boat, right, until they got to the tunnel. There are people here who've come home from graduate school because this is their chance to be in person from far away. There are people who just got accepted to graduate school on the other side of the country, maybe other places too. So think about that moment of convening and fellowship. I want you to hold on to it and remember that this semester, our theme, our business, is to bring human beings together, to create the opportunity for human connection at a time when that's just been incredibly hard to do. We cannot allow ourselves to end up in a normal where being together in this mode of fellowship and appreciation is something rare rather than something usual that we do at William & Mary. So here's where we are now, and it's really joyful. Among the 2022 Plumeri Awards recipients, which I will move us towards now, you're going to find faculty with inventive research methods and design who ask new questions, who seek meaningful answers to the most pressing needs, the most pressing challenges we're facing as a society. In the Jefferson Awards, the pursuit of wisdom, which spans so many domains of knowledge and requires continual improvement in what we know, continual improvement in the questions that we ask. In the Monroe Prize in Civic Leadership, a commitment to service that strengthens our nation, our campus right here, our region, our community, the world. And so that's your preview. Without further ado, I'm going to turn the podium back over to Provost DeGouris for the announcement of the 2022 Plumeri Awards.
The Plumeri Awards for Faculty Excellence recognize and reward core virtues that distinguish outstanding faculty members and define excellence at William & Mary. The Plumeri Awards were made possible by the incredible generosity of Joseph J. Plumeri. Mr. Plumeri is a graduate of William & Mary's class of 1966. He served on William & Mary's Board of Visitors from 2001 to 2009. And in 2011, William & Mary awarded him an honorary doctorate of public service. As I have come to learn more about Mr. Plumeri, it is clear to me that his vision, passion, and leadership inspire excellence throughout our university community. As we recognize this year's award recipients, we extend our thanks to him. As William & Mary's Chief Academic Officer, parenthetically, I need to repeat that so that you know what the provost does. I'm delighted by the existence of this transformative prize. I appreciate that the selection process for this award is fiercely competitive. Applicants are evaluated on their contributions and accomplishments in discovery, scholarship, and teaching. Recipients must have a demonstrated commitment to discovering new ideas and creating new knowledge. As President Rowe said, William & Mary offers an integrated learning experience that combines teaching, learning, research, and living. The Plumeri Award recognizes that learning goes beyond the classroom. So coaches as well as faculty are eligible for the award. This year, we honor 10 members of our community. Each will receive a $20,000 stipend. In the spring, we will hold a ceremony to celebrate the Plumeri Award winners. I am pleased to announce the 2022 Plumeri Award recipients. When I call your name, would you please stand and remain standing? Liz Allison, Chancellor Professor of Biology. Michael Blakey, NEH Professor of Anthropology and American Studies. Dwight Jog, Adina Allen, Associate Professor of Computer Science. Deborah Morse, Sarah E. Nance, Professor of English. Matthias Loy, Broderick Family, Goldman Sachs, Associate Professor of Biology. Michael Lux, Shook Term Distinguished Professor of Business. David Feldman, Professor of Economics. Amy Quark, Associate Professor of Sociology. Juliet Smith, Associate Professor of Marine Science. Virginia Wells, Chief Medical Officer, Athletics. Congratulations, awardees. Please be seated. Now I welcome Dr. Ginger Ambler, Vice President for Student Affairs, to the podium to present the 2021 and the 2022 James Monroe Prize in Civic Leadership.
Thank you, Provost DeGouris. It is my pleasure to present the James Monroe Prize in Civic Leadership to the 2021 and 2022 recipients. James Monroe was the second of 3 U.S. presidents to graduate from William & Mary. He lived according to the principles summarized in his first inaugural address, "From a just responsibility, I will never shrink." In 2005, the Owens Foundation made possible the James Monroe Prize in Civic Leadership. The prize recognizes service and leadership in the tradition of President Monroe. The 2021 recipient of the Monroe Prize in Civic Leadership is Jamela Jacob. Jamela, please join me at the podium. Jamela Jacob, class of 2021, has been a catalyst for innovation and a role model for advocacy at William & Mary. As president of the Filipino American Student Association and the APIA Studies Chair of the Asian American Student Initiative, she worked tirelessly to promote cultural awareness on campus. Not only did she develop a career mentoring program for students majoring or minoring in Asian and Pacific Islander American Studies, she also curated a resource list for discipline-related internships. In support of the Center for Student Diversity, she advanced our Preparing for Life as a University Student, or PLUS, program, and orchestrated a robust Get Out the Vote initiative. Now a proud alumna, Jamela works with our Chief Diversity Officer as William & Mary's Diversity and Inclusion University Fellow. William & Mary is proud to honor you, Jamela, with the 2021 James Monroe Prize in Civic Leadership. President Rowe, would you please join me at the podium?
So we didn't hear what you said.
Oh, you get to join us.
Okay. You're gonna need your hands. Yes. There we go. Okay, so tilt it toward the camera. That's right. Ms. Jacob. Do you want to do the photos first, and then I'm going to read it? Okay. That way? Okay, so stay here, don't go anywhere. Ms. Jacob, you are changing the world for the better. You know it. I am so pleased to be able in person to present you with the 2021 Monroe Prize in Civic Leadership in recognition of your steadfast commitment to service. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, President.
Yeah.
Had a few words prepared. Again, thank you so much, President Rowe, and thank you so much, Vice President Ambler. And thank you all so much for warmly welcoming me back to campus to receive this award. I'm also very grateful to sit on stage with this year's recipient of the Monroe Prize, who is so well-deserved of this prize. My work in leadership at William & Mary was centered around communities of color, especially the Asian American community on campus. So I dedicated my 4 years to fostering spaces for our diverse student body, empowering their voices, and supporting their work in any way I could. And with that said, I just want to say thank you to the Asian and Pacific Islander American Studies program here at William & Mary, especially my mentors, Professor Tanglo Aguas, and Professor Sahoni, and all the wonderful faculty in APIA. The Center for Student Diversity, especially Shanae Owens, who has supported me through literally everything. Of course, the Office of Community Engagement, and my friends and family who I know will be tuning into this recording later. Since graduating, I've reflected a lot on my time at William & Mary. And the one thing I remember the most is the community here. The community where I made friends, the community that supported me, and the community that I advocated for tirelessly over the course of my 4 years. It's imperative that students of color, especially at William & Mary, continue to be supported and empowered. This work is and always will be for them. So again, thank you so much for this award, and I know I'll take this community wherever I go next, and it's really lovely to be back. Thank you all.
The 2022 recipient of the Monroe Prize in Civic Leadership is Cameron Lynch. Cameron, would you please join me at the podium? Cameron Lynch, class of 2023, has tirelessly championed the rights of people with disabilities at William & Mary and at the regional, state, and international levels. Cameron has served as Undersecretary for Disability Affairs in the Student Assembly, as member and re-energizer of the Student Accessibility Services Peer Advisory Group, and as a confidential peer advocate for The Haven. She fought isolation and vulnerability among disabled and chronically ill young people by creating Chronic and Iconic, a global weekly Zoom support group and Instagram presence. Because of her efforts to promote a more inclusive community on campus, as well as her potential for further disability rights more broadly, William & Mary is very proud to honor you, Cameron, with the 2022 James Monroe Prize in Civic Leadership. Congratulations.
Okay. Ms. Lynch, you are changing the world for the better. You know it. And as we have with all these awards, it gives us enormous pride at William & Mary.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to present to you the Monroe Prize in Civic Leadership in recognition of your steadfast commitment to service. Congratulations.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I spent my freshman year loving the life I lived. After years of hard work in high school, I finally found my place in the world, here at William & Mary. I sang with friends on the Sunken Gardens, ate endless curly fries at Sadler, and played hide and seek and swim as a study break. Then COVID-19 hit. I had a gut feeling this wouldn't be good. As I packed up for spring break, little did I know that I wouldn't return to my happy place for almost a year. For the first time, I saw myself as disabled. The life that I lived was inherently unsafe. My reality was completely isolating as I watched my friends and classmates return to the life that put mine directly in danger. I eventually decided that enough was enough. After posting a silly letter to my Instagram, I heard from almost 40 other disabled college students who told me that they finally felt seen in my discussion of the impact of COVID-19 on young disabled people and my own story. It was through this extreme isolation that I finally found my purpose. For the first time, I talked to other disabled young people and found out just how deep the social inequalities were in our world, but not only in the world, but at William & Mary. On behalf of my peers, my mission to gain equity in higher education for disabled students was recognized in USA Today, Washington Post, and even in an interview with BBC. This was never my intention, though. I didn't plan on speaking on behalf of millions of college students. I didn't plan on having this voice. All I wanted was to take the classes that I wanted to take, dance in the dance company with my friends, and live the life that I wanted to live. Now in our third year of the pandemic, my third year of college, and our third year of this confusing world, I know that this isn't possible anymore. We may never get back to the life that we once knew, but my goal has been to make William & Mary and our world a more accessible school and world than I entered it. I would like to thank my family and my parents specifically for teaching me that I have something to say and that people will listen. Growing up, I was assured that my disabilities would never stop me from achieving my goals, and I never for once hesitated the deep love that they had for me. I also want to thank my grandmother for being the biggest cheerleader and always bragging about me to her friends at Bridge Club. I would also like to thank my friends here at William & Mary, many of whom are here today. I can always count on them to listen to my sociological rants, help me plan out my next social revolution, or even plan hide and seek with me and swim. Additionally, I would like to thank Student Accessibility Services here at William & Mary for being so open to listening to my ideas, supporting me when I come to you with a long list of questions, and just, getting coffee on a Friday afternoon. The work that I've done has not always been easy. I've had many nights full of tears and frustration, but there's no other community I would rather serve. I found my place in the world, and I'm so excited to see what comes next. Thank you so much for the honor of receiving the Monroe Prize, and I hope to continue to serve up to its name. Thank you.
Now we move to the Jefferson Prizes. Endowed by the trustees of the Thomas Jefferson Memorial Foundation, the Thomas Jefferson Prize in Natural Philosophy goes to a William and Mary student of exceptional academic performance and potential for future achievement, whose work embraces the 18th century idea of natural philosophy. Our 2021 Thomas Jefferson Prize awardee is When She Won, Olivia Ding. Olivia, will you please join me? Let me tell you a few things about Olivia. Olivia is a 2021 graduate, a mathematics major, who had an overall GPA of 4.0. Yeah. She is now pursuing graduate study at Yale and flew from Connecticut to join us today. Olivia, it is fitting that faculty members in the Department of Mathematics declared you to be one of the best students, most inspiring and creative students. Professors Charles Johnson, Chi-Kwon Lee, and Eric Swartz, who were your instructors, share the same opinion that you are one of the best students they have encountered. All of them are deeply impressed by your excellent work ethic, your humble personality, in addition to your ability and intelligence. Professors Lee and Johnson have conducted research projects with you. Professor Lee specifically noted that you played an important role in his research project. It was fitting for you to be first author on the 3-author paper appearing in the research journal Linear Algebra and Its Applications. Professor Johnson indicated that your research led to interesting breakthroughs and that those findings were submitted to top journals. Alongside your excellent performance in coursework and research, Professors Lee and Professor Jumping Shi noted many examples of your kindness in offering help to other students and partners on your research teams. We are confident that you will make significant contributions to the science community. Olivia, we're very proud to present to you with the 2021 Thomas Jefferson Prize in Natural Philosophy. President Rowe, would you join us, please?
Ms. Ding, you are pursuing learning and research at the highest possible levels, and I'm pleased to present you in person with the 2021 Thomas Jefferson Prize in Natural Philosophy in recognition of your academic achievements. Congratulations. Go ahead. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm extremely honored to be here to receive this award. I would like to start by thanking everyone who has worked relentlessly behind the scenes to make this ceremony happen and bring me home. As for myself, after my flight yesterday was canceled, I got up at 5 this morning to catch another flight to escape the freezing New England. But as Mr. Thomas Jefferson has said, nothing is troublesome that we do willingly. I'm earnestly grateful for the recognition I have received for my work. I owe this achievement and my very fond memories to the William and Mary community, especially the mathematics and economics department. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Professor Charles Johnson, Professor Chi-Kwon Lee, Professor Junping Shi, Professor Eric Schwartz, and many others for guiding me to conduct independent research and mentoring me every step of the way through college. And of course, I cannot give more thanks to my precious family and my wonderful friends who have sustained me, inspired me, and always been there for me. To conclude my remark, I again quote Mr. Thomas Jefferson, "Leave all the afternoon for exercise and recreation, which are as necessary as reading. I would rather say more necessary, because health is worth more than learning." In the middle of this pandemic, I wish you and your family good health and happiness. Thank you.
The 2022 Thomas Jefferson Prize in Natural Philosophy goes to Michaela Huffman. Michaela, would you please join me? Michaela is pursuing a degree in physics with a geology minor. With a GPA of 3.97 and an impressive research record, she intends to apply to astrophysics and geophysics programs at some of the nation's top graduate schools, which she did and was accepted, by the way. And she will likely have several more choices. Her research work with visiting professor and planetary geologist John Kay, which was funded by the Virginia Space Grant Consortium, the James Monroe Scholars Program, and the Charles Center, generated a paper which will soon be submitted for publication, along with several others of which she is co-author. She has had internships at both the Johns Hopkins Applied Research Lab and NASA. In addition to her outstanding academic performance and engagement in research, Michaela has distinguished herself through strong resiliency and contributions to promoting gender equity in the physical sciences. The Jefferson Award Selection Committee noted that her positive impact on other people and engagement in communicating science aligned with the appreciation that Thomas Jefferson had for William Small, and bodes very well in terms of her future potential to make lasting contributions in the natural and physical sciences. Michaela, you continue to inspire your professors. In the spirit of Thomas Jefferson and William Small, you embody the excellence captured by this award. We're proud to present you with the 2022 Thomas Jefferson Prize in Natural Philosophy. President Rowe, would you please join us?
Ms. Huffman, I am delighted to present you with the 2022 Thomas Jefferson Prize in Natural Philosophy in recognition of your outstanding academic achievements. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I would like to start by saying that I am both honored and humbled, not only by this award, but the long string of scientists who have received it before me. There's this great song by the Fleet Foxes called Helplessness Blues, and one line has really stuck with me. It talks about being raised to be unique, but that quote, "Now after some thinking, I'd say I'd rather be a functioning cog in some great machinery, serving something beyond me." All of us search for a great passion, some goal that we can strive for during our short time on this planet. I'm just one of those lucky enough to have found mine early. My reason for being here, for the universe expressing itself in my specific pattern for this short time, is to contribute to the grand quest to uncover the hidden rules that govern the cosmos, to probe the very edges of human knowledge, and to seek out light in dark places. Fun fact, by the way, that grand quest of science turns out to just be a big group project. And I am so thankful to have had the best group members one could ask for. I'd like to thank my family, of course, and all of my professors and colleagues here at William & Mary in physics and geology, and especially Professor Armstrong, whose 8 a.m. quantum mechanics class was my favorite I've taken here. And, of course, Professor Scher, my thesis advisor, who never stops fighting for me. I'd also like to thank my mentors, Dr. Singer, Dr. Kay, Dr. McKay, and Mrs. Hilton. I study planetary science, impact craters specifically. For my thesis, I've discovered evidence of tertiary impact craters on the moon, something that's never been found before. My research lies at the cross-section of the known and the unknown, but I never feel lost, because I know that my scientific community is behind me. They pulled me up into this field. Without them, I may have quit on space science before I even began. If we discourage young people from engaging with science early, we not only lose them, but we lose their discoveries as well. I'd like to leave you with this. When you hang suspended over the grand abyss of space, held to Earth by just the thin tether of gravity, you can't help but feel small. Everyone has felt that. It's an innately human thing. Compared and confronted with the vastness of the cosmos, your worldly troubles seem tiny, and you do too. But I'd like to remind you to look at the moon, And remember that we put people up there, together as a country. Space reminds us that when we work together, we can do really big, important things. It unites us. So I'd like to implore you, on the next clear night, to gather the people that you love and lay out above that abyss. That's where our future lies, and I am so grateful to be able to explore it with all of you. Thank you.
Thanks to the generosity of the Robert Earl McConnell Foundation, the Thomas Jefferson Teaching Award honors young members of the teaching faculty who stimulate learning through character and influence. The 2021 Thomas Jefferson Teaching Award is presented to Dr. Catherine Barco Alva. Catherine, will you please join me? Since joining the faculty at William & Mary, Dr. Catherine Barco Alva has created and championed both a certificate and master's program in ESL bilingual education, inspiring students to pursue teaching careers rooted in inclusion, equity, and justice. She has taken on the roles of faculty fellow in the Center for Liberal Arts, supporting faculty in creating courses that address issues of equity, inclusion, and justice. The role of co-director in W.M. Shore, mentoring 230 undergraduate students from underrepresented backgrounds as they engage in research, and the role of co-director of the UESTC William & Mary program, supporting faculty members from our sister university in China as they explore teaching methodologies in higher education. Dr. Barco Alva has also been involved in numerous initiatives through the Virginia Department of Education to promote multilingual education. She also serves on the ESL Advisory Board of iCivics, an initiative of Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor to advance civic education that reaches 6 million students across the nation. Dr. Catherine Barco Alva, William & Mary is proud to present to you the 2021 Thomas Jefferson Teaching Award. President Rowe.
Dr. Barco Alva, you inspired the next generation of artists, scholars, discoverers to reach new heights of creativity and invention. I am so pleased to present you in person the 2021 Thomas Jefferson Teaching Award in recognition of your exceptional teaching and mentoring. Congratulations.
Buenas tardes. ¿Cómo están? Bien, todos. Bien. President Rowe, Provost Agudis, Dr. Ambler, students, family, friends, colleagues. I promise I'll be brief. On August 22nd, 2016, I arrived at the School of Education at 6:45 in the morning. I sat in an empty parking lot, and suddenly I was overcome with a surge mix of emotions. I was thankful for having a job, given the dire realities of the current job market in academia. I have been afforded the opportunity to do what I love, to learn, teach, and pursue my academic journey at this fine institution. Sitting in my car, I thought about everything my parents had lost when they made the selfless decision to move to the US. Their goal, to provide my sister and I a safer place, where we could have the courage to embrace a better future, outlined by principles of freedom, social justice, and equity. I thought about el amor de mi abuela, my grandmother's love, the sacrifice of my husband, and the dreams of so many of my students, the ones I've encountered in my career. Right there, I promised myself that my teaching, research, and service were going to lead me back to the classroom and my community. As I gathered my backpack, I stepped out of that car, and with anticipation and joy, I said, "This is it. This is where it all begins." I looked at that colossal building, the School of Education, and everything about it was imposing. With a little pride, I reached for the door, and it would not open. It was humid outside. For a moment there, I felt as though I was back in Florida. Oh no. I quickly searched for a different entrance, and to my dismay, every single door was closed. You see, doors don't open until 7:45 a.m. at the School of Education, and I wasn't aware that my ID needed to be activated. As I was heading back to my car, I saw the delivery truck parked on the side. Rushing with my picture ID in hand, I asked the lady tending the truck if she would be so kind to let me in, and she did. Finally, I made it to my office. I called Mama to convey my ordeal. It was my first day at my job. She needed to know. With a calm voice, she said, "Nunca te olvides que entraste usando la puerta de servicio. Never forget you were able to get in through the service door." Her message and its symbolism have resonated with me until today. I was able to get in through the service door. I have been given the opportunity to learn from and serve our students, mis alumnos, our community, family, colleagues, con humildad, with humbleness, compasión y esperanza, with compassion and hope. Gracias.
The 2022 Thomas Jefferson Teaching Award is presented to Dr. Christopher Hine. Chris, would you please join me at the podium? Dr. Christopher Hine is the consummate modern scholar teacher, pushing the boundaries of scientific knowledge and deeply engaged in student learning and personal growth. Dr. Hine is internationally recognized as an expert in coastal geology. He has an infectious enthusiasm for science and an innate ability to inspire others. His lectures are dynamic, high energy, interactive, making his courses extremely popular. Since 2013, Dr. Hine has advised 7 graduate students in the School of Marine Science at VIMS and a remarkable 20 undergraduates on senior or honors research projects. He currently serves as co-director of the undergraduate program in marine science and is deeply engaged in diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts within his field of study and at the university. He is recognized for his devotion to the personal and professional growth of students, commitment to advancing DEI, and exceptional teaching and mentoring skills. Dr. Christopher Hine, William and Mary, is proud to present to you the 2022 Thomas Jefferson Teaching Award. President Rowe.
Dr. Hine, you inspire the next generation to reach new heights. I am pleased to present you with the 2022 Thomas Jefferson Teaching Award in recognition of your exceptional teaching and mentoring.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Provost, President. I want to, of course, also thank the committee and, most importantly, my nominators, Associate Dean Linda Schaffner of VIMS, Dean Aday of VIMS, and Rowan Lockwood, Professor Rowan Lockwood of the Geology Department. This is a real honor, and I can't say that enough to follow up Professor Barco Alva in this as well. So I can't. So thank you for that honor as well. So I was once told by a former mentor, the fastest way, congratulations, you just got into, you're going to William and Mary, to VIMS, to teach, to be a professor. The fastest way to not get tenure is get a teaching award. Because this person did not understand the culture of VIMS, the culture of William and Mary. Right? It's all research. It's all papers and dollars in the door. It is not here. This is a place that clearly values its education mission. I found a place where, yes, I could do those other things, the research. But it's also equally, if not more, prioritized to put that effort into the classroom, where I can engage with graduate and undergraduate students in the lab, and of course, especially in the field. And we can work together as a team to tell the story of the Earth's history. It's also a place where, yes, I could be at VIMS across the water, but I could also make myself a second home here in the geology department. And I could be totally welcome, but not even have to go to their faculty meetings. Most importantly, this is a place that I've found that nurtures, supports the drive to be the best educators that we can. And I stress we here. It's not me just in front of the classroom, because every minute that goes into that, there's a team behind it. Fortunate to have the support and encouragement of my colleagues, but also beyond that, a lab group. Many of them right here today and always beside me in our work. Jen, Liz, Justin, Evan, Mary Bryan, they all share the load of the training and mentoring undergrads and allowing me to dedicate myself to further my teaching. And yes, there's one I didn't mention, Kayla, who, in addition to all those other things, has been a teaching assistant for me for several years, and she's the one that makes me look good in the classroom. So I thank my lab group most of all for this. Of course, my gratitude to this remarkable group of grad students extends to all the undergraduates who have been part of the Coastal Geology Lab over the years. Each one of them has given the field of coastal geology, more than I could have ever given them, and we thrive on this mission together. Finally, and of course, without a doubt, my family, my parents who are here, who themselves raised 2 educators, and Emily, my wife, who's the only one who actually gets to see, put up with, and help me through the late nights, the whining, the occasional crying, the stress, and, like today, thanks to you all, the celebrations as well. So thank you all very much.
Also made possible by the generosity of the McConnell Foundation, the Thomas Jefferson Award allows William and Mary to express appreciation to a member of the university family for significant service through their personal activities, influence, or leadership. The 2021 Jefferson Award is presented to Dr. Virginia McLaughlin. Dr. McLaughlin, would you please join me? Dr. Virginia McLaughlin's 38-year career at William & Mary has been distinguished by authentic and transformational leadership, generous mentorship, and selfless service. Generations of students and colleagues have benefited from her patient wisdom and steady encouragement. As the first woman dean of the William & Mary School of Education, she spearheaded the construction of a beautiful and an enduring home for students, faculty, staff, programs, and projects in education, and ushered in a new era of prominence and influence for the school. She has helped shape the careers of countless leaders in the education profession and beyond, and been a compelling voice in the field of education, forging collaborative partnerships across the university, state, and nation. Her leadership helped unite the work of universities and K-12 schools, establishing William & Mary as a willing partner and trusted voice for practitioners and policymakers throughout the Commonwealth. Appointed by Governor Timothy Kaine to the State Board of Education in Virginia, Dr. McLaughlin was the first sitting dean of a school of education to serve in this influential role. From strategic planning, capital campaigns, and accreditation to special task forces and standing committees, her service has influenced nearly every corner of this university. Beyond William and Mary, Dr. McLaughlin has been entrusted with positions within education's most esteemed organizations and honored with some of the most important recognitions awarded by the higher education profession. Dr. Virginia McLaughlin, William and Mary is proud to honor you with the 2021 Thomas Jefferson Award.
Dr. Professor Dean McLaughlin, I am honored to present you with the 2021 Thomas Jefferson Award in person in recognition of your outstanding and steadfast service to this community and campus and this Commonwealth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Catherine.
Congratulations.
Thank you, President Rowe, Provost Agoulas, and thanks to all those involved in the Jefferson Award selection process. Special thanks to members of the School of Education Faculty Affairs Committee that nominated me, and to colleagues within education and across campus who wrote beautiful letters of support. It was such an honor simply to be nominated, and I'm both grateful and humbled to have been selected as the recipient of the 2021 Jefferson Award, and to be participating today in this awards ceremony alongside students and faculty who are so incredibly impressive. I also want to acknowledge colleagues, many colleagues with whom I've collaborated over the years. Far too many to name, but you know who you are. Together we've planned academic programs and research projects, co-taught courses, co-authored publications, directed dissertations, and written and managed grants. You've enriched my contributions and my life beyond measure. I especially want to thank my family, my husband, John, who's here today, endlessly patient and supportive of me in all my endeavors, including my very demanding career, too many volunteer commitments, and dare I say, too many horses. John's here representing our 4 children, their spouses and partners, and 8 granddaughters. Yep, you heard that right, all girls, 8. Our big, crazy family always helps to keep me grounded and never lets me get away with anything. When I arrived at William and Mary in the fall of 1967 as a 17-year-old freshman from Baltimore, I never could have imagined that I'd spend the better part of my career, 38 years, as a faculty member and administrator here at my alma mater. Throughout my career, I have been strongly committed to public education at all levels, believing in its unique importance to both individuals and to society. One of the reasons that I stayed here at William and Mary so long is because we exemplify so many characteristics of a truly great public university. Over time, I've witnessed, actively participated in, and sometimes led important changes that have strengthened William and Mary, its impact on students, and its reach and stature in higher education. The arc of history may bend at a slower, more variable rate than we'd like, but being here for the long haul has enabled me to see things that we've put in motion come to fruition, often exceeding our wildest dreams. Of course we haven't arrived, and we never will. There's always much more work to be done. And sadly, we're now in challenging times where anti-intellectualism, science denial, nationalism, and other forces create very real threats to some of our most cherished values like academic freedom, diversity, equity, and inclusion, shared governance. Having spent my professional life preparing and supporting educators, it's particularly troubling to see our K-12 colleagues caught in the crosshairs of the culture wars. And it won't stop with K-12 education. We all need to be especially vigilant and active as advocates. We've come too far, and our William and Mary values are far too precious to be tampered with. As we celebrate Charter Day 2022, let us recommit very boldly and very publicly to all that William and Mary stands for. Thank you.
The 2022 Thomas Jefferson Award recipient, Paul Marcus, will not be able to be with us today. In absentia, we recognize his vast contributions to this university. Congratulations, and we look forward to celebrating you fully when you return to campus this fall. President Rowe will now close this afternoon's ceremony.
Would all the honorees please stand so that we can recognize you once more? On behalf of William and Mary, felicitaciones, congratulations, and we are so proud to be able to honor your incredible achievements. Your words are words to live by. Congratulations, thank you.